All right, we are here at 1501 Briarfield Way, Marietta, Georgia for a Chandra Shresthra. And I have a control square over here that I'm going to brush. It's not losing a ton of granules, just a few, very small amount. And where this purple line is our damaged shingle. And what we're gonna do is now run this over 6C, 5A, 5B, and 5C, which happens also to be in a valley. So this valley liner is gonna get messed with as soon as we start this repair. We have 18 inches into the valley. And we're also gonna rub it on 7A and B and C. And interesting enough, these exposures are incredibly short. So this exposure is only 4 inches and 5/8, which means it is not up to the manufacturer's installation instructions. And because it's too short, it's almost guaranteeably going to fail this repair assessment because I don't have a lot of room to manipulate it carefully. Anyway, so I'd make those notes before we begin. Got my smooth putty knife here, and we're going to carefully unseal the shingles. All right. So starting in the valley, there's a nail right here that falls within that valley perimeter. So we're messing with the valley now. So if there's a valley liner under here, which there usually is, now we are in this valley. So I'm going to mark up here that we have a valley. We have a fastener in the valley. Losing a lot of granules. You can see when I was brushing it that a ton weren't coming off, but now we're getting a lot of granules, even just when I'm lightly unsealing the shingle. So 6C, 5A, 5B, and 5C have all been losing, and 7A, 7B, and 7C. We're losing a lot of granules just doing that. So now we're going to find where these fasteners are and remove them. Okay, got our one fastener out right there where the valley's been noted. And another fastener right here. And there's a little bit of tearing, so I'm going to mark that down. Yep, this material is tearing really easily. So we're going to go ahead and mark that as a tear. And we will show you when we're done here what I'm narrating right now. It's kind of hard to keep picking up the camera and bringing it over. So same thing here, we're getting a pull through, but I think I saved it from pulling through, so we're just going to be trying to be as careful as we can and not have anything like that happen. Another fastener right here. That one did pull through. So right there. And I'm going to stop and show you guys what I mean by a pull through, because it does damage the other shingle if it keeps happening. This one we're removing, luckily. So you see here, that nail pulled through, and there's now debris. That debris If that happens on any of these shingles, that debris is actually the fiberglass mat of the shingle getting compromised. And if it happens too much, caulking alone is not the fix according to the manufacturer. So we got a pull through right there. Where'd my chalk go? There it is. Left it right up here where we're filming. We have two fasteners, one right here and one right here. Okay, we got another pull through situation where I'm just gonna leave it since it's already pulled through. When we remove it, we can show you guys. This one tore the shingle. So the shingles are not in a good condition. I mean, if everything's pulling through and tearing and I'm being gentle like this, that is not a good sign. You see we're getting some debris every time we remove a nail, which is not a good sign. We got one right here and one right here. And again, we got another tear in the shingle there. Every time, and we're being super careful. That one actually completely tore the shingle. Okay. So we've removed all our fasteners. We should be able to pull this out nice and easy. There's one more I missed, it seems. Got a hidden fastener somewhere, not on the line. There we go. All right, got our shingle. We're gonna lay that right here. We're gonna mark it, and if we have to send it off, we will. Hopefully we don't. No worries. And before I slide in that new shingle, I got a few nails to still remove, but I want the camera to see what we're talking about here as we're marking things. Okay, see there's a lot of debris trapped underneath. No material transfer, but right here, you can see all that material? So that's a pull through. That damaged this shingle pretty significantly. And then right here, you can see it actually tore that shingle. So it actually tore that one. Pull through, pull through. That one. And this one right here, you can see it's so brittle that this material is literally just crumbling. So I wanted to make note of that because now we have two verified pull-throughs and a giant big tear. So no material transfer. That's good. I'm glad we don't have that. And we'll see if we have any creasing. We are getting granular loss on every single shingle. You can see not the dirt, but the granules are everywhere now. I do a lot of repairs. This is absolutely showing signs very early that this roof is not a repairable roof. A repairable roof, this material is not going to act like this. It's not going to be as brittle. So look at that big chunk that came with the nail. All fasteners have been removed. They're right here in the valley. And remember, this spot right here, we have removed a nail from the valley. This is a temporary seal. This is not a fix. We have caused this valley now to have to be messed with. We are tampering with the valley. This is not a solution. This is only a temporary measure. Now that we've messed with this valley liner under here is compromised. And this whole shingle where we tore right here in the valley, in that channel, we tore that fastener right in the valley. We tore that shingle, which means now we have to replace this shingle right here in the valley. I want to make note of that. And this shingle appears to be nope, I'm wrong. Appears to be number 5. So this is number 5. We tore 5. So this one's completely damaged. This is the one I showed you on video. I'm going to do a temporary measure to see if we can protect this valley, but this is not going to be something that is going to ultimately protect them. They're going to need these shingles replaced now, and the problem is replacing this one gets us into the next ones and so forth. So early on, we haven't even tried to put the new shingle in, we're already seeing significant signs of failure. All right, so we're going to slide in our new shingle now. This is the closest thing I could find to a similar match, but it's truly not aesthetically the most matching shingle. Definitely looks a lot different. If I was looking at it from the ground, you could easily see this is not a great match. And now I'm going to take my nail gun, carefully lift this shingle. Okay, so that was me nailing again in the valley. We're going to do a fastener on each side because we can't use that same nail hole anymore. Okay, so I'm noticing these shingles, you can see it from here, they're losing granules. And it's not just granular loss anymore. They're losing granules right at the top of the shingle where the shingle is actually breaking from me doing this. So I can feel the shingles are not as pliable anymore as these ones. I don't think these are pliable either, but these ones now, there's a hinge point and there's a ton of granules that came off all across the top here. So I see creasing on 5A, that's 5C, no, that's 7C. I see creasing on 7C. There's creasing on 7B, and there's creasing on 7A, and I'm glad you're watching me touch this shingle. You see I'm not lifting it higher than it needs to be. The only time I lifted it as high as it needed to go was to allow room for my nail gun to put the nail in. So I don't think that's going to work. I think we're going to try to switch and use a hammer on 6C and 5A through C. Let's see if we get a better result. I'm using some luminails. They're bright orange. You'll be able to see exactly where we're putting these fasteners today. It's pretty nice. All right. And just remember, I'm only lifting this as high as I need to, no higher. Do 5 nails per shingle. Okay. Just got some caulking on my hands, no big deal though. That caulking came from the spot where that valley where I'm trying to seal it up. Really hope we can at least cause it to temporarily be sealed, not give the homeowner any issues now that we disturbed it. As I was nailing, I'm sure you're watching this video and seeing those granules jumping, but we have significant granular loss at this stage. Where I lifted these shingles, there's absolutely damage. If you guys come back, and we'll come back to this roof, if this doesn't already get approved, we'll come back in a month and show you how significant these shingles creased and broke. Every single one of them did. I wish I could say they didn't, but we have 7 broken tabs, and I'm gonna go ahead and reveal the creases now with our brush, and I'm gonna revisit that control to show you. The control hasn't changed. Nothing has changed other than we have now broken 3 shingles, 7 tabs. You see the control stayed the same. We are just, it won't stop. The granules will not stop pouring off the shingle, and I'm actually going lighter than I was. And these granules, they're not, they are literally cascading down like a waterfall. And remember, this is a soft bristle brush. This is a great brush. I know it seems funny that it's from a vacuum cleaner, but it absolutely does its job, because I was lighter on these shingles the first time we were attempting to do the control, and you can clearly see this is very evident now. Look at the creasing. I have the before pictures of each individual tab that I've numbered. So this is 5C. Look at that. Tons of granular loss and creasing. 7C, absolutely broken, absolutely broken. Look at that. Look at that hinge point. Look at that large amount of granules that came off and creased and broke this shingle. I mean, it's very evident. Look, all that was not there. None of this was there. All that creasing, all this is brand new. This is from the repair. There's no way. All that's brand new. So all 7 tabs have broken and creased. So we have 1 major tear, 2 pull-throughs, no material transfer, 7 shingles have granular loss, 7 are now broken, and 7 have creases that are visible. And this shingle has a mark right there, you can see it. Looks like an old hail strike. So that's it, folks. This is a huge fail. I'm gonna go ahead and note that 7 of 7 tabs, actually that was supposed to be of shingles, so excuse me, let me edit. 3 of 7 shingles have been damaged from this one repair. And remember, we have more repairs that need to be done that we definitely won't be able to do. So these repairs that are around this roof, like right here, falls into going up here. These creases here that make us go up here. Tell that's a soft spot. Yikes. The damage on this side, there's a few right around here that make us go up. There's one over there. There's no way to repair this roof without causing more damage. There you go. The big fail. Big fail.